Walk into a co-working space and you'll immediately notice its difference from a regular office. There's the smell of fresh coffee, the unique interiors, and the energetic vibe from the occupants sharing tables. Let's take a look at some co-working spaces in the city where startups, freelancers, students, and even entrepreneurs can work and share experiences and ideas.
You work in an environment which fosters connections, connectivity, entrepreneurial, of course. And you have facilities which are available like conference rooms.
Wi-Fi pa rin.
Wi-Fi, of course, the most important thing. And if you're a startup or independent worker, you don't want to invest in an office space. Right? A co-working space is exactly that. It allows you to share the space.
STKD Zeppelin, an offshoot of Stoked Inc., the local clothing and lifestyle brand famous among board sports enthusiasts, has created a co-working space that connects to the younger market. So usually, the guests that you have here are students, yuppies?
Independent professionals, workers, small companies, startups.
From being in the retail world, what made you decide to enter the co-working space business?
After being in the retail industry for 18 years, we found that we needed to reinvent ourselves already. With everything moving so fast digitally, we thought of having the workspace here to kind of connect people with our brand by showing them what we've accomplished over more than a decade.
It's super not your usual co-working space talaga because I've been to a couple and this really has personality.
Correct.
Your co-working space. You mentioned earlier that you and your partner personally designed the space.
Yes, we pretty much did the concept from the ground up. It's basically our inspiration from travels throughout the years. So if you look at our pantry, we have a French patisserie-inspired pantry.
And even your hanging lamps here.
Correct. We're using deep sea dive masks because we're into the water. So blending that iron feel, steel with the wood, and that's the feel we wanted.
And these very, very interesting pieces, that grandfather clock, and this, what is this other?
Yes, that's actually a piece by a famous Filipino artist right now, Ram Malyari. We decided, that the Zeppelin would be very much art-driven, art-influenced.
For example, you have surfboards and bikes and even guitars. Does that move around? Like they change it?
Yeah, okay. I mean, the guitars are used. They're physically used by a lot of the people who work here. The unwinding doesn't stop there. The fridge is open. You can have a beer before going home or something.
Stoked Zeppelin also has a cafe, boutique, and even a pop-up tattoo parlor. The co-working space itself is also used for events.
What's different about us is we're not just a working space, we're an event space too.
Yeah.
So the aesthetic here allows for that. So when the sun goes down, it becomes kind of like a loungy place, and you can have a band play, you can have your birthday here, you can do a workshop, whatnot. So
it's very flexible. You have something like a Jenga night, a speed dating night, a B-movie night. Those are very interesting events. From the Zepp's laid-back feel, we visit Clock Inn, which echoes the culture and creative energy of Bonifacio Global City. A perfect venue where passionate and creative minds meet, literally.
The design concept of Clock Inn really comes because we are in VGC, Bonifacio Global City. We believe that we want to mirror the vibrancy and energy that this city has. And that is a young person who is really interested in trying to share his or her big idea. It's definitely different in the sense that traditional offices offer just a bland, blank space. And it's really about the longevity or the tenure that you're going to stay with. Because in traditional offices, you have a contract for 3 to 5 years. And we saw the need of the freelancers or small business owners wherein they can't really commit to that kind of longevity. And we want to offer them a space wherein they can rent for 1, 3, 6, and 12 months of our small offices.
Their common area is a vast space with high industrial-style ceilings. Large paintings become interesting conversation pieces. At the center, colorful cushioned seats are positioned in circular tables that can be taken apart like puzzle pieces. Meanwhile, their digital library features 2 large tables and 1 large circular desk. Miniatures of the city's famous sculptures are also displayed here.
The difference with that one and our social hall is definitely how the furniture is put up. It's more upright, it's more for the productive workers, for our hot deskers.
Private offices and meeting rooms are designed with tall doorways and frosted glass walls to allow a bit of privacy.
For meeting rooms, we have a 10-seater and a 16-seater. And we always, again, go with the idea that, flexible and mirroring how productivity and energy, the vibrance that we have here in Bonifacio Global City. It's more definitely not just offering a conducive workspace, but also giving them the support a startup community needs. And that is offering them and giving them the knowledge, the idea, the network that they'll need when it comes to putting up their big idea.
The nature of how individual professionals work is really changing. From recruitment, retention, innovation, and productivity, they require not just laptops, but also coffee. Not just printers, but also art installations and interactive spaces where anyone can share experiences and ideas.
Such changes are what these co-working spaces have adopted and integrated, making them havens for the modern workforce. Up next, desserts taste even sweeter when you've baked and decorated them yourself.